The vast obsidian chamber hummed with power. Bioluminescent veins pulsed electric blue along the walls, casting eerie light on towering forms. 9-foot-tall reptilian overlords stood proudly, their iridescent scale exoskeletons shimmering beneath the glow. Each bore a single massive electric blue eye that scanned star maps etched in holographic light. Tentacles flicked with nervous excitement as the Zorathian High Commander Draxel surveyed the battlefield. "Humans crushed forever," Draxel's deep voice rumbled. His eye narrowed with satisfaction as it swept over the shattered human colony world orbiting beneath them. Twisted wreckage floated in space, remnants of their star fleets burned to husks. Massive Zorathian warships, their hulls jagged and dark, loomed overhead. The jagged sigils of the Empire gleamed proudly on every prow. Around him, the elite council buzzed with triumph. The Kelbra and Soloth ambassadors raised their plasma flasks, their slender forms shimmering in the blue light. "A swift victory," hissed the Kelbra diplomat, his scales flickering green. "Human resistance is negligible." Draxel's tentacles twitched in amusement. Negligible? They are nothing but fragile creatures. Slow, disorganized, weak. His eye gleamed coldly. "We expected no less." Their fleets fell like brittle branches in a storm. Commander Freya Johansson's face flashed briefly in Draxel's mind, the stubborn human who led the last stand on UESN Sovereign. He chuckled darkly. "Even their fiercest commanders are mere insects to us." The Soloth envoy nodded, their voice a melodic hum. "Their technology lags far behind ours. Their tactics are predictable. This war is already over." "Exactly," Draxel said, stepping forward to the giant star map in the center of the chamber. His huge eye traced glowing points of light, the positions of remaining human ships marked for destruction. "Phase 3 begins at dawn, the final purge. Once we crush their last defense fleets, this system falls. Then the rest of the sector will kneel before the Zorathian Empire." Tentacles flicked with anticipation. "Celebrate now, brothers and sisters," Draxel commanded. "Our conquest is complete. No human force can stand against the might of the Zorathians." Around the chamber, the scales of his fellow warlords shimmered brighter. Some tapped their claws against obsidian floors, eager for the final battle. Still, the Kelvra and Soloth exchanged cautious glances. "Commander Draxel," the Soloth elder said softly, "there are whispers among the stars, warnings from ancient races about humans. We should proceed with care." Draxel's eye narrowed sharply. "Warnings are for the weak," he snapped. "The humans are finished. Their legends and myths mean nothing here." The Kelbra diplomat's eyes flickered uncertainly, yet the elders speak of hidden strength, a technology called the quantum veil, never witnessed in battle. Draxel barked a harsh laugh. "Ancient tales designed to scare children. We fight reality, not ghost stories." His tentacles clenched around a plasma flask, flaring a bright electric blue. "Let the humans hide in shadows if they can. This empire will burn them out." The council erupted in cheers, the sound echoing through the gleaming halls. Outside, warships thrummed with power, ready to unleash devastation. Still, beneath Draxel's pride lurked a faint flicker of doubt he refused to admit. Humans had fought fiercely, far longer than expected. Their spirit was stubborn, their will unbroken, but no one dared mention it now. "Raise the banners high," Draxel commanded. "The galaxy will soon remember the day humanity fell." Tentacles raised in unison, the electric blue veins pulsed faster. Above the shattered human world, the Zorathian fleet bristled with deadly intent. Victory was theirs, or so they believed. As the Kelbra reveled in their victory, whispers of old legends began to surface, tales warning that no power remains unchallenged forever. In a dim chamber deep beneath the Zorathian capital, shadows flickered against ancient stone walls. Holograms hovered in the air, showing battles from a century past. Ghostly figures of elder races drifted silently, their translucent forms glowing faint blue. "They always say humans are weak," hissed a Kelbra elder, her slender gray limbs folding in quiet thought. The Kelbra were lithe and graceful, their mottled skin shimmering under soft lights. Fragile, disorganized, technologically primitive. Beside her, a Soloth commander nodded slowly. The Soloth, with their 6 shimmering eyes and smooth silver shells, were known for their caution. Our archives tell of their stubbornness, but also something else, a secret, something the ancients called the quantum veil. The phrase hung heavy in the room. The Zorathians, towering 9-foot reptilian overlords, paced impatiently. Their iridescent scales reflected the blue glow of their bioluminescent veins. Tentacles twitched with irritation as Draxel's huge electric blue eye fixed coldly on the elders. "The quantum veil?" he growled. "Stories for frightened children. Humans cannot hide from us. They collapse under our might." A faint ripple passed through the chamber. An ancient hologram flickered to life, showing a ragged human fleet surrounded by enemies far stronger and larger. Against impossible odds, they fought with cunning and grit, escaping traps, striking back where least expected. "Look here," the Kelvra elder pointed. "The humans faced the Krill swarm centuries ago, outmatched by numbers and firepower. Yet they survived. Not just survived, they adapted." The Soloth commander added, "Their technology is not just brute force, it's layered, hidden layers, quantum manipulation, cloaking fields. These are rumors, but persistent ones. Draxel's tentacles curled tighter. Rumors are for the weak. We have crushed their fleets, their planets burn." A younger Zorathian hissed nervously, his veins flickering brighter. "High Commander, what if these quantum veils are real? What if we have merely glimpsed the surface of their strength?" Draxel slammed a claw into the stone table. "Enough! We are the Zorathian Empire. We do not fear fairy tales." The Kelvra elder's eyes narrowed. "You dismiss warnings at your peril. The ancients spoke of a time when humans would rise from ashes unknown to us, when their hidden weapons would change the war's course. Freya Johansson and Liam O'Brien, the human commanders, were just names whispered in the archives. Names tied to resilience, not surrender." The Soloth commander's voice lowered. "We must watch closely. The human spirit is unlike any we have encountered. Their potential underestimated." Draxel's eye narrowed dangerously. "Then we shall teach them the cost of underestimating the Empire." Outside the chamber, the glow of bioluminescent veins pulsed brighter, reflecting Zorathian arrogance. But within the hearts of the Kelvra and Soloth, doubt had begun to seed, silent, slow, and growing. For no matter how fragile humans seemed, some ancient truth warned, their weakness was a mask, and beneath it lay a storm waiting to break. But while the galaxy feared the Kelvra's rise deep aboard the human ship, Commander Liam O'Brien prepared to reveal a secret weapon no one saw coming. The UESN Sovereign was battered and worn. Red emergency lights blinked like warning stars along the narrow corridors. Thick cables hung loose from scratched bulkheads. Yet the hum of plasma reactors thrummed steady beneath the damage. Humanity endured. Liam stood beside a hollow table glowing faintly blue. His sharp eyes traced star charts and battle reports. Every mark told a story of loss. Every point marked a fallen comrade. "Commander," said Freya Johansson, her voice steady despite the tension. She was tall, with ice-blue eyes and a calm that cut through chaos. "The Kelvra and Soloth fleets are tightening their grip. We can't hold much longer." Liam shook his head. "They think they've cracked us, that we're beaten." Freya folded her arms. "They don't know everything, not yet." Around them the crew moved efficiently. Men and women in deep crimson combat armor hustled through the corridors, gauntlets glowing softly with power. Plasma cannons were checked, shields recalibrated. Every hand worked to keep the ship alive. In the weapons bay, Captain Mei-Ling Moreno inspected the plasma cannons. Her fingers traced the sleek curves of the weapons. The gauntlets on her arms pulsed faintly, signs of freshly tuned energy cores. "Liam," Mei-Ling said, not looking up, "our cannons are ready, but the Kelvra's shields absorb most hits now." "Then we need something else," Liam replied, eyes darkening. "Rumors again?" Freya raised an eyebrow. "Not rumors," Liam said quietly. "Something old. Something hidden." Meanwhile, in a small, secure hangar, Commander Jesse Okafor prepared for a different kind of mission. At 25, Jesse was young but sharp as a razor. His deep crimson armor bore fresh scars. His black hair was pulled back tight into a ponytail. His eyes, sharp and focused, scanned the controls of the UESN Phoenix. He ran his fingers over the quantum drive settings. The ship's hull shimmered faintly under the hangar lights, hints of blue and silver rippling like a mirage. Jess's voice crackled over the comms. Ready for launch. Ready for launch. This mission changes everything. On the bridge of the Sovereign, Liam met Jess's gaze through the holographic link. You know what's at stake, Jesse nodded. We activate the cloak. We strike where they least expect. Freya stepped forward. The Zorathians think they have us cornered. They don't know about the quantum veil. Liam's voice dropped. It's been kept secret for decades, hidden in plain sight. They call it a myth. But it's real, Jesse said firmly. And it's our last hope. The word spread quickly through the ship. Crews who had faced wave after wave of alien attacks felt a spark of hope. The quiet strength of humanity stirred in every heart. Freya walked to the viewport. Beyond the thick glass, stars blinked cold and distant. The shattered remains of human colonies drifted like ghosts. She whispered, "We've lost much, but not our will." Liam stepped beside her. "They say humans are fragile, disorganized, outmatched. Let them think that," Freya said, voice hardening. "They've never met the human storm. In the command center, technicians calibrated the secret systems." The quantum cloak humming to life, folding space and light around the fleet like a living shadow. "Once we activate," Liam said, "the Kelvra, Solith, even the Zorathians won't see us coming." Jess's squad assembled in the hangar bay, their crimson armor gleaming in the emergency lights. Each carried reinforced gauntlets and plasma rifles. The youngest among them grinned nervously. "Remember," Jesse said, voice low but fierce, "they expect us broken. We're the storm they never saw." Freya turned back to the holo table. "Prepare for all outcomes. But know this, humans endure." Liam smiled grimly. "They may have numbers, technology, and arrogance, but we have something stronger, resolve." The Sovereign shook as distant explosions rocked the system. But inside, a quiet fire burned. Humanity was ready, and soon the galaxy would see what that meant. Just as Commander O'Brien scanned the horizon, his heart quickened. The alien ships were closing in faster than anyone expected. The battle was about to begin. Dark shapes loomed across the black void. The Zorathian fleet advanced like a tidal wave, massive warships bristling with plasma cannons and serrated missile pods. Their iridescent scales gleamed even in the cold starlight. Tentacles flexed over command panels, electric veins pulsing with excitement. The single huge electric blue eye of each towering Zorathian warlord glowed fiercely, hungry for victory. "Brace for impact," Liam barked, voice firm despite the rising tension. The UESN Sovereign trembled under the first volley of plasma bolts. Explosions bloomed like deadly flowers across its hull. Red emergency lights flickered violently. The hum of the shield generator strained, struggling to hold. Commander Freya Johansson stood at the main bridge viewport, fists clenched. She wore her usual calm mask, but her sharp eyes betrayed concern. "Their targeting systems are adjusting faster than we predicted. They're locking on with deadly precision. They think this ends us," Liam growled. "They don't know humans fight best when cornered." From a nearby console, a Kelvra officer hissed nervously, her sleek gray form tense. "Our sensors detect overwhelming firepower. The humans cannot hold." A Solith strategist nodded grimly. "Their shields will fail." "It is only a matter of time." Freya met their gazes without hesitation. Then, "Well, make every second count." The Zorathian warships surged forward. Their jagged sigils shimmered like dark flames in space. Tentacles twitched on their command chairs as they shouted orders in guttural roars. Jesse Okafor sprinted through the corridors of the UESN Sovereign. His deep crimson combat armor clanked softly as he moved, plasma rifle in hand, gauntlets humming faintly with power. Black hair tied back, sharp cheekbones set in grim determination. "Drone swarms inbound!" The comm crackled. Outside, sleek enemy drones streaked through space like metallic hornets. Jess's squad scattered, firing plasma bursts that lit the void. Each shot was a desperate bid to hold the line. "Keep moving! Don't let them surround us!" Jesse called, voice steady despite the chaos. Explosions rocked the Sovereign again. The hull groaned. Red lights flashed warnings. Crew members shouted orders and ran damage control. Back on the bridge, Freya's voice cut through the noise. "Liam, the Colossus just took a direct hit to the engine core. They're losing power fast." Liam's jaw tightened. "We can't lose the Colossus. It's the key to holding this sector." The Zorathian fleet pressed their advantage. Their targeting arrays locked onto every human vessel, firing volleys that tore through shields and armor. Human ships rocked violently, systems failing one by one. Commander O'Brien came a tense voice from the tactical officer. "The Sovereign shields are at 40%, 30, 20. Liam slammed his fist on the console. "Hold together. We've faced worse." Freya stepped forward, eyes blazing. "Everyone, prepare for close-quarters combat. If they board us, we'll show them the meaning of human resolve." Suddenly, a massive explosion erupted near the Sovereign's port side. Fire and debris scattered across the viewport. The ship shuddered violently. Jess's comm crackled again. "Command, M moving to the hangar. Squad Delta is pinned. We need support now." "Hangar's a death trap," Freya warned. "But you're our best chance." Through the chaos, the Kelvra and Solith watched silently, their expressions unreadable. The Kelvra's iridescent scales dimmed slightly, an unusual sign of doubt. The Zorathian High Commander's voice boomed across the fleet. "Finish them! Crush the humans beneath our claws! Their resistance ends now!" But even as the alien forces advanced, human crews dug in deeper. Plasma cannons fired in bursts, gauntlets sparked with deadly precision. Red armor glinted defiantly against the darkness. Liam met Freya's gaze. "They think this war is over." Freya smiled grimly. "They're about to find out they're wrong." The battle raged on, fire and fury lighting the void. Human ships were battered, but their spirit burned brighter than ever. Every explosion was met with renewed determination, and somewhere deep inside the chaos, a secret moved silently toward its moment. The tide had not yet turned, but it was coming. Just as the Kelvra fleet closed in, Commander O'Brien exchanged a knowing glance with Freya. Now was the moment to unveil humanity's hidden ace. The UESN Phoenix hull shimmered like liquid silver. Waves of shifting quantum patterns rippled across its surface. To the Zorathians and their allies, it was as if the ship vanished into thin air. "This is it," O'Brien whispered into his comm. His voice was calm. "Focused. Activate the quantum cloak." Around him, the crew tightened their grips. The deep crimson armor of Jesse Okafor's squad gleamed faintly in the low light, the red insignia glowing softly. Jess's black hair was tied back tight, his sharp cheekbones set in a determined expression. Outside, the massive Zorathian warships loomed. Their towering 9-foot reptilian shapes bristled with jagged weapons. Electric blue veins pulsed along their iridescent scales. Their single huge eye scanned the stars, confident, arrogant. But now, their sensors failed. Screens aboard the Phoenix blinked, then went dark. "Sensor arrays offline," Mei-Ling Moreno reported from the weapons station. Her eyes never left the flickering displays. "They can't see us. We're ghosts." The quantum cloak bent space and light. It made the ship nearly invisible. More than that, it scrambled the complex sensor net of the Zorathians, Kelvra, and Solith alike. "Move out," O'Brien ordered. "Jesse, your squad leads the strike team." Jess's gauntlets hummed with power as he nodded sharply. "Understood, Commander." The Phoenix slipped silently through the dark void, invisible, untouchable. Inside the human fleet, the news spread. Other ships flickered on, activating their own cloaks. The entire force became a ghost fleet, unseen and unheard. At the heart of the enemy lines, the Zorathian flagship, the Obsidian Fang, pulsed with arrogant power. Draxel's huge electric blue eye gleamed with triumph from the command bridge. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Commander! Intruders detected inside the ship!" hissed a young Zorathian officer. His tentacles twitched nervously. Draxel's eye narrowed. "Impossible! The humans are defeated." "How?" Chaos erupted. Jesse led his squad through the labyrinthine corridors of the Fang, walls lined with glowing bioluminescent veins pulsing electric blue flickered as explosions rocked the hull. Silent kill only, Jesse ordered, voice low and deadly. We strike fast. Disable their command nodes. His squad moved like shadows. Plasma rifles ready. Reinforced gauntlets sparking softly as they braced for close combat. One by one, they'd reached control rooms. Systems began to fail. Power flickered. The mighty Fang groaned under unseen blows. Back on the bridge, Draxel's eye widened. They're inside. Our systems are failing. This cannot be. Across the galaxy, the Kelvra and Solith fleets turned uneasy. Their advanced sensors could not locate the human ships. Whispers spread among their commanders. How can they be invisible? This defies all known technology. The ancient warning spoken in secret councils echoed in their minds. The quantum veil the elders feared. But now it was real and deadly. Freya Johansson's voice cut through the human fleet comm, steady and fierce. We've lived through worse. We've fought from ashes. The quantum cloak is our last card, and it's time to play. Human ships surged forward, invisible and unstoppable. Explosions blossomed inside alien capital ships. Panic struck their crews. The glowing veins on their scales flickered wildly, fear in a language no words could express. O'Brien's voice came over the squad channel. Secure the bridge. Take down their command structure. We end this now. Jess's squad breached the final bulkhead. The control core lay ahead, glowing with unstable energy. Plant the charges, Jesse ordered. His voice was calm but fierce. Let them feel what happens when they underestimate humanity. Minutes later, the core exploded in a brilliant flash that even the cloak could not hide. The obsidian fangs shuddered, then began to lose power. Draxel's huge eye closed briefly. When it opened again, there was no fire, no triumph, only shock. Humans, not defeated, he hissed. They never were. The tide had turned. The quantum cloak had shattered. The quantum cloak had shattered the illusion of human weakness, and the war was far from over. As the hidden quantum cloak hummed to life, Commander Liam O'Brien's voice cut through the tension, steady and fierce, ready to explain the secret that could change everything. Zorathians, Liam began, his voice calm but sharp like a blade, echoed across the fleet's comm channels. You believed us broken. You counted our losses, marked our retreat. You thought the fire in our veins had died. The bridge of the UESN Sovereign glowed red with battle alerts. Liam stood tall, dark hair slightly tousled, eyes burning with resolve. Around him, human officers exchanged looks, a mix of hope and fire. But you underestimated one thing, Liam said, his hand resting on the console. You only woke the storm. On the alien warships orbiting the shattered human colony, the towering 9-foot Zorathians stiffened. Their iridescent scales shimmered under dim bioluminescent lights. Tentacles twitched nervously. The huge electric blue eye darted back and forth. Commander Freya Johansson's voice joined Liam's, clear and fierce. We are not fragile. We are not broken. We are humanity. And we will fight until the last star dies. Freya's face appeared on the fleet-wide holo feed, her sharp cheekbones framed by short-cropped hair, crimson combat armor catching the glow of the red emergency lights. Her eyes burned bright with unyielding defiance. You thought our technology was myth, our tactics obsolete. You laughed at our stubbornness. You called us weak. The alien fleets trembled as the human message pulsed through every comm channel. Even the Kelvra and Solith allies, tall and slender with sleek metallic skin, exchanged uneasy glances. The warnings of old whispered true. But now? Now you see the truth, Freya continued, voice rising. We hold the quantum veil, a weapon born of desperate hope and relentless will. It bends space, folds light, hides us from your eyes, and it makes us unstoppable. The Zorathian High Commander Draxel's massive eye widened. His bioluminescent veins flickered erratically, a sign of growing panic. You believed this war was over, Liam said, voice low, controlled, that you crushed our spirit. You were wrong. The human fleet, cloaked in shimmering quantum fields, surged forward like ghosts haunting the enemy's nightmares. The UESN Phoenix, led by Commander Jesse Okafor, cut through the enemy lines undetected, striking deep into the heart of Zorathian command. Freya's voice softened, but the threat was clear. Look closely, Zorath. You face not a defeated race. You face a force reborn, sharper, faster, stronger. A silent pause. Then Freya's words rang out, unstoppable. We are the storm you awakened. And we will not stop until the last light in your empire flickers out. Across the human fleet, eyes gleamed with fierce pride. The soldiers in deep crimson armor gritted their teeth, ready to fight with everything they had. The alien forces shifted nervously. Tentacles twitched, scales bristled. The Kelvra muttered warnings to their Soloth allies. Doubt crept into the Zorathian command chambers. Liam's voice returned for a final blow. Your reign of terror ends here. We are not just survivors. We are hunters. And the galaxy will remember that humanity does not surrender. Freya's image flickered, the light from her console casting fierce shadows across her determined face. You called us dead. You only made us stronger. The quantum cloak shimmered around the human fleet, folding reality itself, slipping silently through enemy lines. Prepare yourselves, Freya warned, because the real fight has just begun. And with that, the message ended. Across the void, the aliens felt it. The tide had turned. The storm was here. But just when the Kelvra and Soloth thought victory was theirs, Commander O'Brien and Johansson revealed the hidden quantum cloak, changing the battle forever. The UESN Phoenix flickered out of sensor range, its hull shimmering with shifting light. The cloak bent space and time around it. Invisible, untouchable, the Zorathian fleet's confidence shattered in an instant. Commander Liam O'Brien stood on the bridge of the UESN Sovereign. His eyes scanned the starfield. His jaw was tight. Around him, red emergency lights pulsed like a heartbeat. The hum of battle filled the room. Fleet, this is O'Brien, his voice crackled over comms. Quantum cloak active. Prepare for counterattack. Target Zorathian command ships. We strike now. The human ships moved like ghosts. Cloaked fighters darted through the void, striking alien supply lines before vanishing again. The Zorathian vessels' glowing veins flickered with confusion and terror. Their great electric blue eye darted wildly as systems failed without warning. Commander Johansson, O'Brien barked. Lead the boarding parties. We hit their command decks. Cut off their control. Freya Johansson's figure appeared on the main screen. Her face was lit by crimson console light, fierce and calm. Understood. Boarding teams ready. Let's shut down their nightmare. The UESN Colossus surged forward, shield flaring as it closed the distance. Human Marines, armored in deep crimson, prepared their reinforced gauntlets and plasma rifles. They were ready to fight in the tight corridors of alien warships. Boarding party Alpha! Move out! Johansson ordered. Inside the Zorathian flagship, the atmosphere changed. Asanornans. The towering 9-foot reptilian aliens with iridescent scales and glowing electric blue eyes roared in alarm. Their bioluminescent veins pulsed erratically. Intruders, seal the decks, commanded a Zorathian officer, tentacles twitching with panic. But it was too late. Marines in crimson armor burst through bulkheads. Plasma bolts streaked through the dim corridors. Sparks flew as gauntlets clashed with alien exoskeletons. The humans fought with brutal efficiency. Keep moving! Protect the quantum core! Yelled Jesse Okafor, leading a squad with sharp cheekbones and black hair tied back. His expression was fierce, every step pushing forward. Explosions rocked the enemy ship. Alarms blared. The Zorathian command bridge trembled as systems failed one by one. On the Sovereign's bridge, O'Brien's eye gleamed with determination. Their command is falling. Press the advantage. Human fleets emerged from the shadows, striking again and again. Cloaked frigates disabled weapon arrays. Fighters tore through fragile Zorathian drone swarms. The Kelvra and Soloth watched from their ships, tension visible in their movements. The Kelvra's slender limbs trembled. The Soloth's many eyes blinked rapidly. This is not the end we foresaw, a Kelvra officer muttered. The humans have secrets beyond our understanding. Across the battlefield, chaos spread like wildfire. The once proud Zorathian warships lost coordination. Their great single eyes flickered in fear. Tentacles twitched nervously at every new attack. O'Brien's voice came over the fleet channels again. All units, reclaim lost territory. We hit their supply lines, disrupt communications. No mercy. Human forces surged forward, dismantling the alien war machine piece by piece. Commander, we breached the flagship's engine room, reported Jesse Okafor. Preparing to sabotage core reactors. Good work. Make it count, O'Brien replied, voice steady. Suddenly, the flagship shuddered violently. Fires erupted along the hull. Alien officers stumbled, their glowing veins dimming. Draxel's huge electric blue eye widened in disbelief. His tentacles lashed out in frustration. The dream of total domination was crumbling. The Zorathian High Commander roared, "Regroup! Fight to the last breath." But the humans were relentless. "Now, Johansson," O'Brien commanded. On it, Freya's voice was ice cold. The boarding teams detonated charges. Blinding blasts tore through the ship's core. The flagship's systems collapsed one after another. Outside, the Zorathian fleet faltered. The Kelvra and Soloth signals flickered. Doubt spread like a virus among their ranks. "Retreat!" hissed the Soloth commander, eyes narrowing. "This war is lost." But O'Brien was already pushing forward. "Hold nothing back," he said. "This is our fight." Our home. The UESN Sovereign and Colossus led a massive push, reclaiming strategic outposts. Human ships appeared suddenly from the quantum cloak, striking fast, disappearing again. The tide had turned. From the shadows of defeat, humanity roared back to life. Their secret weapon shattered the alien arrogance. The galaxy would remember this day, because when you wake the storm, you better be ready for the full fury of a human fight. With the Kelvra fleets blinded and the Soloth scrambling, Commander O'Brien and Freya knew the moment for final victory had arrived. The stars outside the UESN Sovereigns' shattered hull windows sparkled cold and clear. Human crews, clad in deep crimson combat armor, cheered softly. Their voices echoed down dim corridors, a quiet roar of hope after endless nights of battle. Commander Liam O'Brien stood silent, eyes locked on the holographic star map hovering above the command table. His broad shoulders were tense beneath the weight of responsibility. Freya Johansson stood beside him, her sharp gaze steady. The red glow from the consoles cast shadows on her determined face. "Draxel's fleet is breaking apart," Freya said, voice low but fierce. "Their warships are retreating. Sensors show heavy damage. The Zorathians never expected us to strike back like this." O'Brien nodded. "They thought they had crushed us. Instead, we shattered their chains. But this is only the first step." Outside, the silhouettes of alien warships faded into the darkness. Their iridescent scales dimmed as their electric blue eyes flickered weakly. Tentacles twitched in frustration aboard their crippled bridges. The mighty Zorathian fleet, once the terror of the galaxy, now limped away in defeat. Jesse Okafor entered the command deck, still wearing his blood-red armor. His black hair pulled back tightly, sharp cheekbones set in a determined expression. He carried his plasma rifle and reinforced gauntlets, battle-worn but ready. "We've secured the outer perimeter," Jesse reported. "Boarding teams are cleaning up pockets of resistance. The quantum cloak made the difference." "We struck like ghosts in their veins." Freya smiled grimly. "You and your squad turned their pride into panic." O'Brien placed a hand on Jess's shoulder. "Your courage gave us back the stars, but the real fight is ahead." The room fell quiet as they studied the map. Colored markers flickered, reclaimed outposts, damaged enemy stations, and human fleets regrouping. Kelvra and Soloth allies sent cautious messages through open channels. Their voices carried relief and respect now. The Kelvra with their sleek silvery ships, the Soloth with their crystalline hulls, both wary but no longer dismissive. Freya turned to the assembled officers. "We've proven what humans can do. Against all odds, we fight on. Our quantum cloak technology is our secret weapon. We will expand it, improve it, until no enemy can see or strike us first." O'Brien's voice grew firm. "They thought we were weak, fragile. They believed their dominance was certain. They were wrong. We are far from finished." A sudden alert blinked on the console. A damaged Zorathian frigate limped into sensor range, barely cloaked. Freya's eyes narrowed. "They'll be back," she said, "stronger, angrier." Jesse grinned, fingers tightening on his gauntlets. "Let them come. Well, be ready. We're not just survivors, we're warriors." Outside, human ships surged forward in formation, crimson banners waving in the void. The battered but unbeaten human fleets reclaimed their ground, star by star. O'Brien looked out the viewport, seeing the distant glimmer of homeworld still at risk. "This victory is ours, yes," he said quietly, "but the galaxy is vast and dangerous. We must prepare, for war is coming." Freya nodded. The quantum veil will be our shield and our sword. We'll unlock its power across every vessel, every soldier. The Zorathians won't know what hits them. The room filled with renewed energy. Plans were drawn, research teams mobilized, human ingenuity sparked like wildfire. Jesse stepped forward, voice steady. We fight smart, we fight hard. We fight together. Commander O'Brien met his gaze. Humans don't back down. We adapt. We overcome. We survive. Freya raised her fist, and we win. The last echoes of alien defeat faded in space, but the story of humanity was just beginning. The galaxy had underestimated the humans. Once again, they had awoken the storm. The Zorathians would return. The Kelvra and Saloth might choose sides. But one thing was clear. Humanity was ready, and this was only the beginning.